Thank you so much for joining us here. My name is Maud. With me is Cattle Guy.
Team Liquid going against Alliance. I mean, I said it before last time Liquid was going against one of the big names, but who'd have thunk we got to the point where this is going to be a very even matchup. You're looking at Dota 2 Lounge, 55 in favor for Alliance, 45 for Team Liquid. What I like to call the Cinderella story, coming straight out of that wild card, representing the Northern American scene and just trying to be a force to be reckoned with. And for the former TI3 champions, Alliance, the Swedes, well, might be hanging on for tournament life here. A win extremely necessary for them to hang on and move on to the next round.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is, a big game for both squads. If you look at the records real quick, you look at Team Liquid, they're sitting at 6-6, bit of a rough day to start things off, and then, well, Alliance are 5-7, a spot where not many people would think they would be, especially after their TI3 run last year. So 5-7 with a loss, it's not necessarily going to eliminate them mathematically from contention, but it certainly is going to make it more difficult. So a win here is almost extraordinarily necessary for them. For Liquid, they can maybe get away with a loss, but at the same time, you're going up against a team that it's going to be a confidence builder for the most part. I think that's the most important thing. If you win this game, you're going to feel really comfortable with yourself, no matter what team you are. Alliance beating Liquid, they know how good they've played. They beat some of the best teams. Liquid, vice versa, they know how good Alliance can play. Some of the best synergy and chemistry in Dota comes from the way Alliance play. Going through the draft already, something we see all the time is like, oh, well, there it is again, the Furion ban. I guess Admiral Bulldog, he's not getting his favorite hero.
Poor Bulldog. I mean, he brought a nice, innovative new build back at ESL 1 with the Blink, with the Maelstrom, but the problem is when you do such a dominating performance and everyone in the world sees it, and you get to the TI, no one wants to go against that. So I believe 100% ban rate against Alliance for the Nature's Prophet, and more frequently as well, the Wisp. But the thing is, they're doing 2 direct bans towards Bulldog. His number 1 and number 2 have been the Nature's Prophet, and then behind that, they'll typically try to grab a hold of that Doom. But no, not this go-around. Team Liquid not allowing it to pass on through it. For Alliance, actually a bit of a respect ban there, getting rid of the Skywrath Mage. Very smart. They had saw that Liquid are going to go ahead and get a hold of that Faceless Void as their first pick, but Bulba, unfortunately, this go-around not going to be familiar with his usual Birdman that we've seen all through the day.
It's like how many, you look at the games that we've seen of Team Liquid, and there's like maybe 1 or 2 where they don't have a Skywrath Mage like riddled in there, and you know, they still do okay. It's not like he needs the Skywrath Mage to win the game, but at the same time, it's just he's so comfortable with it.
And the thing is, like, Bulba's number 1, let's say, would be Skywrath Mage.
Yes.
Number 2, Mirana.
Yeah.
Both not going to be available. What the hell is Bulba going to do, Mott?
I don't know, man.
He's got nothing else.
Maybe sit in the corner and cry now. I mean, this guy has a large hero pool.
No. Total sarcasm, by the way. Bulba is just one of those players. He's been across all of the roles.
Yeah.
Very, very experienced. A veteran player in his own right. And it's so funny that they actually pick up the Tinker. More than likely, the Koikva Tinker.
Yes.
We've seen very strong performances from that.
Yeah.
And I only laugh because that had been one of Bulba's signature heroes, but he has just now, I guess you could say, the students become the teacher. Bulba, happy to see the Tinker in the hands of such a skilled player.
Yeah, Koikva's been unbelievable this tournament, and a lot of the reason why Liquid have had the success they've had. So you got to give props to him. Demon Pegasus playing that Faceless Void. He's had fantastic performances where he'll get an Aghanim's Refresher and he'll just dominate the game, and then he's had some questionable performances where he'll make some mistakes and he'll be in the wrong position. And that's the thing about Demon, he's a very polarizing figure in that regard. For Alliance, the Bristleback coming out, the Brewmaster as well. More than likely going to be S4 playing the Brew, but you have some other players that can play it as well, and obviously that Micro going to go a long way. Alliance just so good at their synergy. Obviously, we haven't seen, I don't know, I feel like I'm really surprised that they're struggling this much, honestly, and I really hope they get back in their winning ways, but against Liquid, it's going to be difficult. They'll go for the Vengeful Spirit right now. EGM, I believe, is the one that usually plays that. They can play a damn good one as well. So.
EGM loves to play those kind of heroes, very similar to, in style as Zai likes to play. They're both support players who can find a lot of farm and also be a little bit greedy. So typically, you love to give them supports that have a very high ceiling. Someone like Vengeful Spirit early on, just very much utilized for the early disable. Later on, you move into setting something up with the swap, and then after that, she can actually bring forward a formidable amount of damage to work with, especially with the benefit of that aura. And also remember, with that aura comes that new perk. If you even do take down the Vengeful Spirit, you're going to be removing some excess damage on the side of Liquid.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, that's actually kind of a crazy change when you think about Dota. It's just like, oh, that actually is a thing now. So
yeah,
it's kind of
it's a terrible thing as well. And what ARDM, I believe as well. It's like bugged out, and unfortunately,
is it really?
If you get a hold of it early, I believe it does linger even after Vengeful does move. You know, obviously you die, you move on, you get a new hero aside from Vengeful, but the aura stays.
It's like, oh damn, we can't kill anything. We have no damage anymore.
You kind of hope typically you pick it up early. So.
Yeah.
But you know, for Alliance, they're going to look to move on from here. They haven't played so much their old tried and true ways. We've seen a bit of it today, and they found some success. And what I'm talking about is I really like Ake when he picks up more of those jungling, micro-intensive heroes that he's just known for.
Yeah.
We saw him play Chen a little bit earlier, and they really know how to push the pace with that. He typically is the pacemaker, likes to get a hold of them early, migrate over to the lane, try to get some ganks, and if not, take some towers early. That is something that I think Alliance should shoot for. And for Team Liquid, they grab up the Witch Doctor.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like for Alliance, Chen is fine, but Enchantress is still a hero I want to see come out for them. With the Vengeful Spirit, I'm not sure if they're going to grab it, but they have that option. They've done Vengeful, Chen before, and in fact, they've done a similar draft like this, and I believe it was It was the Brewmaster Chen. They had actually loaded playing the, oh, there it is. They had loaded playing the Bristleback, the Vengeful Spirit. I think they had a Doom as well, but that's been banned out. Team Liquid, what's important to note as well, the last time they didn't have a Mirana or a Skywrath Mage, they picked, I think, Witch Doctor, and I believe it was Bulb applying it, so yeah, they're going to have it.
So there's the answer we were looking for. When you don't have Skywrath, when you don't have Mirana, it looks like their third notch is going to be that Witch Doctor, and this is also an excellent hero. Typically, a lot of teams have been taking advantage of using the Witch Doctor in more push-heavy lineups just because of that heal being so good, but you can't count out all of his other abilities. The cast, even though it can be a little finicky and very RNG-based, the fact of the matter is it can do a lot of work, especially if you time it perfectly. You're looking at a long lockdown ability that can catch anyone out, especially when you're going against maybe even the likes of Chen with all those creeps. You do have to be careful, but Ake, a master of the micro, you know, don't count him out on that.
And the thing I'm kind of scared about right now for Liquid is there's no real way to deal with this Bristleback. I feel like Tinker can burst out some damage, but if he's facing, you know, if his back's towards you, it's going to be kind of annoying. Faces Void, and his right click is like a wet noodle early on until you maybe get a Mask of Madness if you're Demon or just some other right click damage. Witch Doctor, his ultimate is physical, but again, the damage reduction from Bristleback. So Aloda might be just the one to create space in the front lines. Brewmaster, his ultimate as well, is going to be difficult to deal with. And then Vengeful swap out of the Chronosphere. Very nice to have. And we don't see that too often. Ways to counter the Faces Void, it's one of the things to do. Someone's in the Chronosphere, just going to throw my body in there. You can kill me instead, it's fine. Team Liquid go for the Earthshaker. That's a hero that's seen a lot of success, but some of it's been seen as support, some of it's been seen as core Earthshaker. Where this lands, more than likely going to be support here for Team Liquid, because you're not going to put it in the safe lane more likely than not. We've seen people like Korok do it. Tinker is going to be played in the mid lane by Koikva. I'd imagine that's probably 99% going to happen. So
yeah, you can never just be like a 100% because we've seen some crazier things happen thus far. But I agree with you. More than likely, Way 2 is going to be picking up this Earthshaker, looking to roam around early, get some lockdowns, or at least prevent the early ganks coming their way. And another thing to note for Alliance, being on this dire side, being able to take advantage of moving on to the Roche Pit early, they do have the benefit of a little bit of this minus armor synergy there with the goo coming out from the Bristleback as well as the Wave of Terror of Vengeful Spirit. So they can look to move in, especially if EGM considers picking up the early medallion. Next thing you know, they're going to have Roche take it away, and Liquid are not going to know what's happening, get a hold of that early Aegis, and then they can begin to snowball out of control. But we're at that point. We're at the fifth and final grab, and well, I'm leaning to believe that this could potentially...
It's going to be an offlaner, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I feel like Loda's going to play the Bristleback.
He's played it before. We've also seen Bulldog play it before.
That's true.
So I'm not, you know,
it could. I mean, I don't. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that this is going to be Bristleback in the safe lane. A lot of people just Bristleback in the off lane's fine, but I feel like you're underutilizing the hero at that point.
I mean, Bat Rider's still in the pool. It can be very tricky, though, picking a Bat Rider into something like a Faceless Void.
You could go for a Lone Druid here, unless it's been banned out, which it looks like it hasn't been. I mean, Admiral Bulldog, that's what he got started with, so if you're going to be going for something, even like the solo safe lane and then run like an aggro dual lane, maybe, but...
He ran in the mid, too, that one game we had.
Yeah, that's true.
So
you've got a lot of options.
Yeah,
it's not like the Brewmaster needs to be there.
Yeah, and you could put out some early harassment on the Tinker, but no, it's going to be the Alchemist grab.
Now I'm leaning towards Bristleback being the off lane,
Yeah.
and then Alcus being played by Loda, which has seen a decent amount of success. And you talk about armor reduction, this only just gives you more of it with Acid Spray. With Greevil's Greed, he can certainly carry the game. There's a lot of tanky heroes on the side of Alliance. This is going to be tough to bring down, but I wouldn't call it greedy, but it's punishable. I mean, honestly, Liquid could kite this pretty well as well. If they could just make sure they can be all over the place, Tinker can jump in and out of the fight with his Blink Dagger and rearm, faces forward with Time Walk. That's the thing. I feel like Alliance they might have a difficult time locking heroes down, but this should be okay. I actually like this draft a lot. And then Liquid, also very good at kiting heroes. Like the Alchemist, like the Bristleback, like the Brewmaster. I mean, that's exactly what it does.
It's a lot of melee on the side of Alliance, and I think Liquid have caught on to that, and they know that one of the best kiters in the game is going to be that Viper, and even if you do manage to get a hold of the Viper, you're going to be doing a lot of damage, not only to, the Viper, but to yourself. Yeah. You can never underestimate the power of that corrosive skin, and Viper is going to be looking to build up, go extra tanky, pick up that early mechanism, then move on, potentially get that Agnum Scepter, and he's going to be a tough cookie to crack.
Yeah, honestly, Viper is he's scary to deal with. And this is TC's hero, and I love TC playing this hero because he's been known to kind of not play as aggressively on some of the squishier carries, whereas this hero is known for just manning up and being aggressive early on in the game. If you don't do that, then you're going to lose the game. You have to utilize this hero when it's the strongest. So for both squads, I like the draft jumping into the game. I think that they both have a really solid lineup here. Lots of smokes purchased up early on, no surprise there, and GLHF coming out as well. So,
and as far as franchise history of both these teams facing each other now, do note that the rosters have changed since then, more so on the side of Liquid, but as far as how many times they've gone head to head as Alliance versus Liquid, 29 games, 25 wins for Alliance. Yeah, so a huge history for them, meeting all the way through since last International 2013 back in August of last year, most recently in D2L Western Challenge back in April 9th.
Yeah, I mean, Liquid has historically had trouble against Alliance, and I'm sure TC and Bulba both know that. They haven't played each other as much since the new additions of specifically Demon, but Way 2 as well as Quakeba, so it's something to keep in mind. There's got to be that mental, thought process from Liquid's like, we can't lose to these guys again, whereas Alliance, they know they have this matchup. If they can get in, be aggressive early on, essentially get a couple of kills, maybe break the mentality of Liquid. So we'll see how things pan out as we jump into the game. On the side of Alliance, your Dire team, it's S4. He'll be on the Brewmaster yet again. Admiral Bulldog going in the off-lane Bristleback, something we don't see too often from him, but I mean, certainly will work. Ake on his favorite Shen, no surprise there, one of his best heroes for sure. EGM on the Vengeful Spirit, similarly one of his better heroes. And then Loda playing the Alchemist. It's almost like we're back last year. This would be a draft you would see, with the exception of Bristleback, maybe back at TI3.
Yeah, very, very nostalgic, if you will, lineup coming out from Alliance. But over here on the Radiant side, we got Liquid back at it. And starting here at the top off-lane area, we see Way 2 picking up that Earthshaker. Let's see if he can land another huge play like he did in the past, snagging up the Roche and Aegis kill, blocking out the lane for now. It is going to be Demon by that off-lane side, playing your Faceless Void once again. Mid lane, none other than Quakeba, the masterful carry player, playing your Tinker. Along the bottom, we do have Bulba, now picking up the Illusion Room, playing your Witch Doctor, and finally rounding things out, the Troll Chief, TC. If he's not sending people into the Abyss, he is playing Viper.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's going to be interesting, honestly. They're not really doing much here. Admiral Bulldog's just sitting back for whatever reason. If he gets close, though, he's going to get zoned out. The range of the Viper, the amount of damage he can pump out even early on until Bristle gets a couple levels is going to be difficult to deal with. But Admiral Bulldog knows that he's got the Quill Sprays. He's going to stack up the Ancients. That physical damage is going to be so nice to have, and it actually helps Loda as well if he decides to go down to that bottom lane with the Acid Spray. Demon cancels the Time Walk animation as he gets stuns up, and actually, well, this is really interesting. What I do want to note is that with a Poor Man's Shield, Faceless Void has 70 damage. That's a ridiculous amount. So he's getting zoned out right now with the right clicks, but still, that's a lot of damage, I feel, for an off-lane Faceless Void. And
oh, yes. Very nice indeed. And I'm sure also, though, Ake is going to be a very happy boy. We noticed that Liquid did not go with any sort of early aggressive movement and try to block out those camps. So Ake has a full jungle to work with. It's one of the best things he could ask for. But look at this as well. On the side of Liquid, they're already stacking up the Ancient camp here for Quakeba. It's better to get those Boots of Travel and that Blink Dagger very quickly.
Yeah, this is something I'm surprised the Lions aren't dealing with. Maybe once Ake gets a little bit of camps going his way, he can maybe buy a ward. He actually has one now. He can buy a Sentry as well and just head over to that that ancient camp and just ward it up and make sure that this doesn't happen. I mean, this is going to give Quakefoot so much gold and finish off his bots or Blink Dagger when he gets close, and he'll just try to win the lane from this point on. So the thing I'm interested to note is that we'll see when Ake wants to decide to roam. He's got a Smoke Up to Seed. He's already had a pretty good jungle. He's already got 860 gold in the bank, so doing rather well. Bulba sitting here, just kind of helping TC lane. And we'll see if he can just zone out Admiral Bulldog in this bottom lane. He's actually taking a lot of frags. Still level 2, mind you, in the top lane. Way2 has rotated up with an Invis rune. We'll see if they go for a kill here. EGM might get Fissure blocked in. There's going to be the right click. There's the Fissure block. EGM, Magic Missile, only to save his life, probably. The time walk coming through, but Demon dodges it. Nicely done. Gets the kill. First blood going to Liquid's Demon. A nice Invis rune coming out from Way2. No ward on that top rune spot. That's why Alliance fell there.
Very interesting as far as ward placement there. I mean, they conveniently put it on the bottom, and unfortunate RNG for Liquid right there. Way2 had been scouting out the area, stacking up that ancient camp, conveniently got that Invis rune, just migrated up to the top, and a convenient EGM was right there for the picking.
Yeah, he's just like, hey, I'm just gonna kill you real quick, and it's fine. Demon's done this twice now. He's used the Time Walk to kind of dodge spells, or at least that's what it looks like. The Magic Missile went out, and he didn't get stunned at all. I'm not sure if that was a visual bug for me, or I just missed something, but Way2 meanwhile in the mid lane, S4 and Quakefoot there, just dueling it out.
It's funny to note though, I mean, Demon playing this Faceless Void, he can make some big plays and draw some very positive attention, but he can also not make big plays and draw some very negative attention. We did see that the last time they played, he made some questionable chronos, some questionable, you know, over-aggressive moves, but here we go, one of Alliance's tried and trues here. Ake, a hold of a decent set of creeps here. The Dark Troll leading out the front. EGM there as well.
They're gonna go
with
mid,
the CC, but they don't want to go make a go here.
They're going to run right into Way2. Way2's going to see this. He's going to ping it out immediately. EGM's going to try to run up to the high ground right now, but they are not in range. Way2's a bit too fast as well. They do know that this is stacked up now, but EGM is just... There's not much he can do. They have a ward on Ake, and he could stay and try to put it down, but Way2 could just Fissure and just push them away as well. So and that's going to be the #1 priority, I think, for Alliance, is just trying to ward that Ancient stack. EGM looking for the double damage rune and is actually just going to try to zone Way2 out. Quakefoot is having a pretty good time, 20 last hits, but surprisingly, maybe not so surprisingly, S4, one of the best mid players, won the 1v1 mid tournament, sitting at 25 last hits as well, so he's having a great time in this mid lane.
Only being outshined by TC here in the bottom lane as the Viper, but that's not really a surprise because Bulldog really can't find anything. In fact, he literally can't find anything. 0 and 0 CS still for him, and he's also going to eat a cask on the way back. Can we orb walk down this Bulldog? TC sure as hell going to try, and he will be able to get it. Just sneaks in and takes down the Bulldog and jumps back, and now Liquid pull ahead 2-0.
Yeah, just, I mean, a bit unfortunate, just that damage from poison attack. It's level 2 plus level 2 Nether Toxin. The right click of the Witch Doctor is actually rather high as well. You throw up a cask and a Maledict, and all of a sudden you're pretty good to go. He doesn't even have Maledict, it's just Buddha Restoration. Demon was getting got on in the top lane, but he was able to just time walk away or even just fake it out. He's got level 3 time walk, so shouldn't be in any real danger if he sees anything coming. And he's actually just running up to EGM right now. They have stuns with Loda, the Unstable Concoction, and EGM's Magic Missile. No mana for it right now. He does have the Clarity mid lane. S4 diving kind of deep right now. Fissure actually misses the damage, not there. S4 still with that DD. He also has Primal Split. He's kind of just running around, diving past the tower. Coming through is Bulba to help out, but Way2 is going to back up now, and S4 will lead the creep wave back to, I guess, across the river.
This is like the second or third time, though, that Alliance are trying to get a hold of their first kill, but they're very slippery Liquid team to start things out.
I see what you did there, this guy.
But top lane, Demon, just no surprises. He's cool, calm, and composed here in the off lane. Always has that time walk to fall back on, and of course, with that Pro Man shield, he can take a few licks and just kind of keep on going. So, not too nothing too terrible for him. Just steps back, and Loda as well. He's just going to try to get his own set of farm, but 28 and 11 for himself. Phase boot's now complete, and we'll see where he decides to take it from here.
Man, I was complimenting you on that zinger, and you just shoved it back in my face. I don't know what happened there.
To be honest, it was unintentional. So
I know. I was just giving you a hard time.
I can't give myself props on that one.
Well, Demon's doing rather well, though. 17 last hits, 18 last hits in the off lane. They tried to zone him out, but they really couldn't keep him down. He's done a nice job of making sure that he's getting some decent CS. And level 6 is done. Chronosphere is ready to go. So if he wants to jump on anybody, he can. S4 in the mid lane, again, having a pretty great time. Quakefoot's still not doing poorly either, and he has the stack to deal with as well. It's been stacked twice now. With 3 ancient camps there, ready to go, and that'll provide him either bots or his Blink Dagger, whichever one he needs at the moment. So Now it's just kind of continue to get farmed for Liquid. Mech's almost done for Viper, and I think he's very close. In fact, he just needs the recipe. Demon, maybe pick up a Chronosphere kill sometime in the near future. This is not what you want to do. Magic Missile, unstable concoction. He got a bit too brash there, and Aki made sure he paid with his life, so.
Yeah, they had been lingering in that side jungle for quite some time, and the opportunity approached and they just took control of it. So
Yes.
props to Alliance, they managed to get themselves on the board. 1-2 though, your score. Way2 has been just constantly babysitting out this mid lane next to Koikfa, constantly pulling the camp on the side, allowing him to get that farm, and once Koikfa does get a hold of those boots of travel, we've seen in the past, he can go absolutely crazy.
Yeah, this is real selfless play coming out from Way2, just stacking up this ancient camp. I mean, he's not getting the most levels in the world because of it. In fact, he's sitting at level 2, which is a bit problematic, as he's sitting 2 levels behind the next support. Alliance are going to smoke up right now, and it looks like Koikfa, this is the wrong time for him to be at this ancient stack. Ake and EGM are about to be revealed. Now Koikfa going to get ran at here. The Magic Missile about to go. He fogs it for a second, but now in trouble. The Shockwave. Fisher about to fly, but no, it's S4 running at Way2. And that's going to be a dead Koikfa, and maybe this stack might be taken as well. Way2 stuck in the trees.
S4 eating big damage from the tower, though. He does have the primal split, obviously, but moves forward and claps.
Yep, the thing is, TC gets a kill down bottom of the Bristleback yet again, and that's great, but they really can't afford to lose the stack. Sometimes when you lose a stack later on in the game, it's okay. It's just like not the worst thing in the world. You can just get farm elsewhere, but this is Koikfa. Not only did he die, but if he doesn't get that stack, that's really problematic. 9 minutes in is really when you want to be getting that bots, but now, jumping in, Demon looking for a Chronosphere. Actually already used it. They used it bottom. Primal Split's going to go. They just wanted to make sure they baited it out. The Primal Split is going to go. Now Aki diving. There is the Test of Faith. Not nearly enough damage to get the kill on Way2, but they're still going. Nice Smoke of Deceit actually goes, and Way2 will survive. That Earth Panda not there to help out, so Way2 gets back home and he'll stay alive, but good bait of the Primal Split coming out from the side of Liquid with Time Walk coming in from Demon.
Tower is under attack.
But Alliance, more importantly, getting right back into the mix. Loda has been very patient up here in the top lane. A few more swats and he's not going to get overzealous and try to take down this tower. So it will allow Demon to show up and, well, TC the one to deny it out. So taking away that little bit of extra gold there from Loda, who will step back, probably farm up the jungle a little bit on the way out here. And it looks like he did just manage to perch up an item on the courier here. It is
Midas.
A Midas, none other than the Golden Glove itself.
Yeah, I mean, why not? 9 minutes in, a bit late, but that's fine. I think he went for phase boots first, so well timed. Now Koikfa looks like he's just going to use this camp to get to, I believe, 500 gold more, and that's going to be his bot. So actually the timing is not really that bad. This might not provide him enough gold, but it'll be close, and it looks like it actually will. So nicely done there. The March coming through, 2,000 gold to the bank. That's his boots of travel. Now just needs the Blink Dagger, and well, probably from there, Ethereal Blade Dagon. That's the build that everyone goes for. It used to be Sheep first, after you get your Blink, your Soul Ring, and all that stuff, but not anymore. Everyone just likes to zap people. And
that Obs board, though, on the side of Alliance to scout out this Ancient. Very, very nice. It's allowing Alliance to see how the movement is going. They smoke up here. They're looking to go on the top lane. Potentially. They shift on through. There's not going to be anyone else. Koikfa had already done his job there by the Ancient stack. For now, they're going to wait very, very patiently here. And it does look like Way2 had just used out his Fissure. So if they move in now, this would be very nice for him.
S4 dodged a Viper Strike from TC with his Blink Dagger, which he just purchased up. That's fantastic. So that's on cooldown for another 65 seconds until he gets his Aghanim Scepter. It will continue to be that long of a cooldown. Loda looking to make a wrap on top lane. Demon has his Chronosphere. He also has Time Walk, and he might see this coming. In fact, he does. We'll see where he goes with this unstable concoction. Nicely played. Demon is getting wrapped on, though. Aki is here. He only has Test of Faith. He's got no Penitence. So Demon should be just fine. Meanwhile, Fissure, the right click from S4 or onto S4, not nearly enough. So, oh, the Centaur Conquerors are coming through. Pegasus gets stopped by 1. Is it going to be 2? Oh, they've got to be careful with that Courier as well. Oh, jeez.
And nice Midas quickly picked up from Demon and shows no mercy for said Centaur and quickly takes him down. So very nice stuff and convenient pull here as they're going to go for another Ancient stack. And Bulba makes his return to the bottom lane. Bulba's been relatively quiet this game thus far, not doing too much movement. He does have a smoke on hand in case they do want to get aggressive here, but it is Koikfa to show up, move over, and do that tried and true spot where you're going to lay out the markers and farm all 3 camps at the same time. We even have a 1 stack happening here as well, so a lot of gold coming his way.
It really comes down to Bulba just getting 6, and it's the same as a Skywrath Mage. Once Demon throws down a Chronosphere, he'll pop up his ultimate, the Death Ward. That physical damage is going to be so nice, and the problem is, again, there's going to be a lot of armor on the side of Alliance, so it's going to be difficult to take somebody down early on in the game. But at the same time, you do have a Viper to deal a lot of the damage. Alliance are going to make their way into the enemy jungle looking for a liquid pickoff, but they won't find anyone, at least not yet. They didn't smoke up for this after, they just kind of walked through. And also, this tower's getting rather low, and Loda's just going to sit here, acid spray, tank up a little bit of the tower as well as a couple of the creeps, but down bottom, Liquid, they smoked up as well. Bulldog has TP'd in, but they're not trying to make a go. So, looks like this tower will go away for free, essentially, and Alliance gets something.
Koikfa pulling out the marchers, trying to steal Alliance's
really nice.
stack. This is sneaky, and I like it a lot. Bulldog sees this happening. He's like, no, I was counting on having this. I needed this money, but Koikfa gets what he can and quickly TP's out before the rest of Alliance can rotate over.
Yeah, I mean, he got a couple there, and that's really all that he needed to do. And Alliance has to take this now together. They are forced into a situation where they've got to just do these Ancients a little bit earlier than they maybe wanted to. So, yeah, it's just a sneaky play. Koikfa's all over the place. And for Alliance, though, they still are, I mean, they're okay with that. That's not a big deal. Loda with his Midas is up now with 2,000 gold to bank. Bulldog had a bit of a rough time, but already getting a Vanguard at 12 minutes is pretty good, I feel like, considering, like, what did he get in that off lane? Nothing.
Exactly. He had 0 and 0 at probably like 4 minutes in and just really was trying to pull it back for himself. So he did continue to stack out those Ancients, but he still relatively found some farm once Liquid decided to rotate away from the lane. So just, yeah, very patient play from Bulldog. He know he had a rough time, but he's trying to get right back into the fight there, and that Vanguard will help out, and him being into the heat of the moment, if you will, and just get those quills out repetitively. He has him leveled up to 4, the 1 respective level into that nasal goo, and a little bit in bristleback, so he can soak up a little bit of damage and try to wither away the weaker side of Liquid, whether that be the Bulba or the Way 2 or what have you.
Yeah, and they actually see Loda TP to the tower up here. They have this nice observer ward placement as well. They see S4 with a haste rune, so they're going to back off now. I was surprised. I feel like Alliance can take or could have taken Roshan with Nasal Goo alone. I don't even know if they really need the medallion, which I'm not sure if Benj is going for. In fact, EGM, he has it. I mean, he always gets this too on the Dire side as well. Goes for Roshan, gets it done. Waits you. Fisher about to fly on S4. He's going to try to TP away. Might make it in time. In fact, will. With the Fisher stun, S4 has no time to primal split and throw that rock, so that would have been a waste. And Way 2 stays alive. Just a smart play there with the Fisher. So, 3-3, 14 minutes. It feels like it's been more action-packed than this, but it's been exciting
It's
still.
a bit of a tense game.
Yes.
There's been a lot of movement from both teams, but both teams have also been very tricky to get a hold of. So for now, Alliance not benefiting too much from that recent close engagement, but it might be the time that they consider maybe moving into this Roche pit. They might need to throw down a sentry just to make sure Liquid don't have any proper vision, but as we can tell, there is nothing right now for Liquid to see that this might be happening. But for now, it's moving over here, pings out on the bottom, and well, they're going to smoke up. Up the top of this lane, there is Alliance nearby, but they're thinking about going in the Roche pit.
Yeah, this is the right thing for Alliance to do. If you can't find any kills, you want to be safe, go for Roshan. Liquid, they might know this is happening. They might have an understanding that they're all up in that, but they have no real wards within one of that top lane, so this should fall. Look how fast it's going down. The reduction is ridiculous, and this has been the problem with Roshan a lot of days recently. When you get the Dire side, people just get some armor reduction strats, and then all of a sudden you get Roshan, but such a really good objective.
They have a great ops ward in the jungle of Liquid. They're looking to push on forward. They use another wave of terror, and Bulba might be a victim of war right here as S4 pushes forward and takes him down. So nice stuff coming out from Alliance. They take down the Roche, and with an excellent placed ops ward, I would imagine from Ake, they do quickly get a pick off for themselves. And Koikfa nearby, almost in trouble, but now has a hold of that Blink Dagger, so this pesky Tinker is going to be very tricky to get a hold of.
Well, you need to be careful, my friend. Cancels it. Yeah, that was kind of sketchy, but yeah, no, Alliance just really smart to not only get Roshan, but jump into the jungle right afterward. They did that so quick that they were in the jungle in like 2 seconds flat and killing Bulba, so next thing Bulba knew, he was dying. He was on the face. He was on the ground. First, so. Well, Demon's sitting here in the mid lane. He's ready to go. He's got his Chronosphere, he's got his Midas, and an item he loves to build is the Midas up on that Faceless Void. It gets him some really good items. We'll see if it goes for Mask of Madness. Alliance pick up a tier 1 tower, no surprise there. It's pretty much them deathballing at this point, but
TC has been quietly in the top lane, just kind of pestering this top tier 1 tower. There was one rotation to come S4, but he does not have the primal split anymore, so they're going to go right into the jungle and try to find out where the hell this Brewmaster is. He quickly blinks out, lays out the clap, and hits on Bulba, but they're going to land the death ward and the whole kit and caboodle, and he will be quickly bursted down. And they were extinct before, but now one less on the earth. They're going to go ahead and take hold of this tier 1 tower.
That was a guy confirmed panda hater, my goodness.
I love pandas, I'm sorry, that was a bit morbid.
That's all right. Understandable. I thought that S4 might have had his Brewmaster ultimate, and then I remember that he used it in that bottom lane. So the Chronosphere not necessary for the Faceless Void. They pick up the tower, they pick up the kill. Pretty nice play. Very close game, I feel like. If we look at the gold graph, it's actually 2,000 in favor of Alliance, and a lot of that comes from the Roshan. I feel like, I believe they have an extra couple of towers as well. In fact, maybe all of the outer towers. It looks like they do have all the tier 1s. Experience-wise, 2,000 as well. So, again, though, if you're kind of just hoping Quakefoot can carry this game, I mean, that's a good thing to hope for. He's done a fantastic job in the past. He's got his Blink, he's got 1,500 gold, he's got his Soul Ring, he's got his Bottle, Boots of Travel, take just all the farm off the map that he can. TC's getting pretty farmed as well with his mech. Going for a BKB next, not going for an Aghanim Scepter, at least not yet. He has the Ogre Club. Yes, it could be an Aghanim Scepter with the Ogre Club component, but more than likely going to be that BKB, so... We'll see how things
count out Alliance. These are a group of very crafty veterans, and Loda, when he decides to get on these more core roles that are more farm-oriented, he knows how to find that farm.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And like next thing you know, he's coming out of the woodwork, and he's already 6 slotted, and your team is getting ready to fall apart. So for Liquid, it's a matter of what kind of pressure and at what is our peak moment to try to really lay out an assault on Alliance. And for Alliance, it's more of, we're going to get some objectives complete. We're going to take out all these tier 1 towers, take out the Roche, and just kind of move on to the next objective we want to take care of. For now, smoke up in the mid lane and possible rotations to come.
I mean, Aki has his mech. He's got 1,500 gold in the bank. He's found a lot of farm. EGM, we already talked about him having the medallion. He's got level 1 swap still. With level 2, they can really be aggressive, but they're going to look to find Demon maybe in this bottom lane. Admiral Bulldog has had a very quiet game. He's not been involved in any kills and has died twice, so... if they can get him involved here, that could be absolutely huge, but Demon getting caught out. Unstable Concoction might fly. There's the wave of terror going through. The swap coming in. The Unstable Concoction will go. Now, time walk away, but he's in the trees stuck. He's going to try to eat his way out here. No other tangos left, and they're going to chase him right down. Chronosphere will fly. Now he's just going to right-click him down. Loda still has the Aegis, though. Demon has to time walk when he's got it available. Magic Missile going to fly, and Demon will fall. Just a bit of unfortunate positioning there, but a smart gank coming out from Alliance, and... probably not the man you want to go on. Loda, the chemical raged alchemist, this bronze god with the Aegis and lethality and
He really didn't have much of a choice at that point. Yeah. He kind of got himself between a rock and a hard place, and this Chrono was just like a last-ditch effort, and there was really no one else to hit except that big beefy Loda right in front of him. Well, he did fall, and now Alliance, just like that, take down a tier 2 tower. They're actually in the base right now. S4 jumps on forward, he eats a fissure. I hope he doesn't pay for this one. He does have the primal split if he is able to get it off, and for Alliance, they step back for now. March is going to be dropped out from Quakefoot to try to create a little space for his team, and Alliance will pull back.
Yeah, that's just smart play from Alliance, making sure that Liquid are penned up in their base, at least for a little bit. They know they can't take the tower, not with March up. They don't have enough yet, and they need to get a pick off as well. This Tinker is going to be just all over the place. If they can kill Quakefoot, then they have an opportunity to go into a tier 3, but not yet. They'll probably finish off the rest of the tier 2s beforehand. Gem smartly picked up for the Vengeful Spirit. Now it's time to get map control as well. If they start placing some of the wards that we see on the sides here, like on these cliffs, it's going to be very important. That way they'll be able to take down Quakefoot like crazy. So for now, he's got 3.2k gold in the bank. And he may very well be going for that Ethereal Blade first, into the Dagon a bit later. He's going to get reclaimed in about a minute, but for now, it's just kind of, let's just farm up. And Loda, well, he likes to do that. He's level 12, and he's got the most net worth. Actually, him and Tinker seem to be trading places.
And a Blade Mail as well, and I like this pickup. This is something I like to grab when I go against one of those annoying Tinkers in a pub. You just pop that Blade Mail and the heavy March lineup.
And they got another one, too. They're going to go for the 5 Blade Mail lineup, I feel like.
We got to keep your eyes on Quakefoot, because you may think he's doing fine and laying out a dominant force with all the pew-pew and lasers, but the next thing you know, he's lost all of his life just because of all the damage he's been putting out there. So Quakefoot does need to be careful of this.
Yeah, that's going to be a bit scary. He can just stay in the well and just kind of regen up while the Blade Mills are active, but yeah, this is kind of cheeky, I think. Eventually, if he really wants to, he can be a bit tankier. He can get some items that really just kind of negate the Blade Mail damage. Blade Mail's a really good item early on, though, and he actually looks like he's going Scythe. He picked up a Void Stone, unless he wants to get, perhaps, no, he's going for a Euls.
I've seen this recently. I was, believe it or not, quick shout out, obviously, again, to DDZ. When he played his pub Tinker, he likes the Euls. Just kind of throw him up in the air, rearm, wait for him to come down, get all the zaps off, rearm, send him up in the air again, start from the beginning. So, does he have the opportunity to get that done? Who knows, but it is an extra bit of CC to work with, even if it's just kind of keeping Loda up in the air non-stop. You know, it definitely will be very beneficial to them.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you hit a Chronosphere and you get 3, and you don't want the other person involved just kind of running outside rampant, throw somebody up in the air. It's kind of a team-oriented item rather than just going for the zap that we usually see, but right now, I mean, Alliance don't seem to be phased, and if this is the progression of items coming out from the Tinker from Koikfa, then it might be a while before we see him involved in any sort of engagement. He really can't accomplish that much. Fisher's gonna fly out right now from Way 2, but Loda, oh, there, the blade mail. It's just gonna use himself. That's what it's for. So he doesn't take the blade mail damage. It still hurts, but oh man.
Oh, this cheeky strat might be more than enough to be a migraine here for Koikfa as he steps back. Alliance unable to break the base. They're knocking at the door, but they can't quite get in. And Bubble had been at the top lane, just slowing down that push, but Alliance quickly on the scene to push it right back out. So as it seems right now, Alliance just a strong force as a group together looking to push down all these lanes. And Liquid, the pressure is on for them to execute some sort of pickoff. But Alliance, they're not giving away anything easy.
Yeah, the thing right now, I think, is for Liquid, if you see S4 TP up to the top lane, just try to catch somebody out on the backside. Like, you see them backing away slowly. They didn't all TP. They kind of all just stayed down bottom for a bit. Liquid could have potentially fought there had they got Koikfa back at the base. But yeah, I mean, it's going to take a bit there. But it's still an option they have. I mean, especially with Chronosphere. 2,000 gold in the bank right now for Demon, for Jimmy, and we'll see his next item. He has the Mask of Madness, like we talked about. The Smoke into Seek Egg is coming out. Bulba actually picks up the point booster as well. Will they go for EGM? Will they go for Ake? Both of them are sitting kind of close by. EGM a bit slow. Now, Chronosphere coming out from Demon. They really want this kill. The Death Ward as well, and the Fissure, just to claim the kill. A lot used for that. And now S4 about to jump in, thinking about blinking. It's on cooldown for 1 second. Can they get away? Now the blink forward. Demon, he's got Time Walk. He's going to use it. Now the cat's going to fly. Demon didn't get down. He's still up here, and S4 will see him. Now, pops the Mask of Madness, getting slowed down. Nice Fissure block from Way 2. Just to make sure his ally, his compadre, will get out and survive. So S4 looking for that counter engagement, doesn't quite find it, but still, that was a lot, like I say, to use for just one support, especially EGM. So
they're working hard for it. Alliance are not making anything. Look at the blade mail just going right through the march. Koikfa eating a little bit of damage. Actually, he's down to half life just off that blade mails alone. This is going to be troublesome for him. And
yeah, Ake has picked up one as well.
Oh,
so
I'm really liking this. This is just one of those fun little strats you typically do with your friends when you hate playing against the Tinker. And I'm liking it a lot. It's working for him. And now Koikfa has to think twice on when he wants to lay down these marches. He's not quite at that point where he has like a Dagon and an F-Blade where he can just forget the march in the meantime in these fights. He has to pull them out to prevent these pushes. As he jumps forward, he does see the Viper strike. He has to split, and he does. Pulls out the Bears, are looking to push on forward and go into the high ground here. The Glyph was popped, and he will eat a small bit of a stun here. TC turns it right back, and well, it looks like S4 is going to have to retreat back to the low ground as the rest of the Alliance squad are just pushing on this tier 2 tower.
Yeah, right now, Alliance, actually Loda gets fissured here. Do they have any sort of follow-up to this? There's no Chronosphere. The ultimates, for the most part, are down except for the Echo Slam, but Demon trying to chase up to Loda. There's going to be that spray. Loda's going to get sent back. Nicely done there. Ake on the Chen, but now Ake getting pursued. No TP. There's the Chronosphere. They really want to secure kills. The Death Ward again, but it actually gets canceled coming through. I'm not sure from what. He got stunned up, I believe, but I'm not sure what happened there exactly. He got stunned up by something. I missed what it was. Either way, they get the kill. S4 using the Primal Split as well. Koikfa down bottom. S4 taking a lot of damage and will fall. Koikfa gets the kill with the rockets. Just being a bit too aggressive in that bottom lane. Loda stuns himself up. Koikfa will stay alive.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And actually picks up his first level of Dagon. In fact, his second level of Dagon follows shortly thereafter. Rather.
This is important because if you want to be able to offer a lot of offense without using those marchers too much, you need something like that Dagon to work with. Loda jumping right in. He's like, I'm going to take this farm, find out where this pesky Tinker is, and make sure he doesn't hang around too long. There goes the stun. Unfortunately, he will eat another one. And Koikfa steps in and throws out the rocket, mocking him a little bit, I would suppose, and just pulls right back. And look at that. TC completes up that Aghanim Scepter. So this makes things a little more frustrating for the likes of these heavy melee heroes on the Alliance squad. They're going to be hiding around. The Viper Strike's going to be thrown out. I would imagine more so on Loda, but even if you get it hold it on, the Bristleback, it's going to make things very difficult for Bulldog to be able to contribute a whole lot.
I really like the idea of Loda going for this SNY. He's already built the Blade Mail and the Vlads. You might as well go for a lot of this early to mid game kind of items. You could transition a bit later if you really want to, but this is just going to make him tanky and difficult to deal with early on. He hasn't died at all. Bulldog, his impact has been, I guess, interesting. He's gotten a kill. He's got Blade Mail, he's got a Vanguard and a Vitality Booster, and they're going to go for Roche again. Now the question is, do Liquid try to contest this? You have Chronosphere in 4 seconds, but Demon nowhere near it.
I don't think they can.
Yeah, I mean, just it falls so quickly, too. Alliance with this strategy, you have obviously the Medallion of Courage coming out, you have the Viscous Days Lagoon, and they're just going to take this Roche and give the Aegis probably again to Loda. And with the blade melt too, I mean, you've got to be careful if you're Koikfa. One wrong play and all of a sudden you're dead from just your own March of the Machines. So again though, Demon is doing a nice job of farming. He's got his Maelstrom now with 1,500 gold in the bank. Koikfa's leading the net worth chart, and 3 of the top 4 are actually on Team Liquid, so...
And the pressure's going to be on here for Koikfa to try to keep these lanes away from the Liquid base, because I would imagine now acquiring that Aegis Alliance, if they can not get a hold of a team fight, they'll just go ahead and come a knocking at the door and try to bring the fight to them. So Koikfa is going to try his best to try to split push all these lanes out, but as it's been before for the Liquid team, you know, it's going to be pressure on his back right now. It's going to be very tricky to get a hold of this Alliance team, and even if they do, it's going to be a very questionable fight to take, because they have a lot of heal, a lot of minus armor, and just it's going to be very frustrating.
I feel like right now Alliance have the momentum here. The gold lead is going Liquid's way, but I feel like Alliance have been kind of looking for that high ground initiation, or at least getting the towers here. And I'm curious, do you think that Alliance are going to be able to take this into the late game, or is Koikfa going to start doing some magical things with his fingers and get Liquid back into this one?
We can never really count out Alchemist. We don't see him too much anymore as of recent being a core, but he still can be a strong force to be reckoned with, and very, very meaty if he'd like. So if they feel that Tinker is going to become a serious problem, I think they can find the tools. They've already started early picking up those blade mails, but I think they can do a lot to shut down this Koikfa. It's a matter of how much mobility they actually have to catch up with them. You do see a couple of blink daggers, and hopefully they can catch him out on the sidelines to quickly take him down and then capitalize on that, but you know, it's going to be very tricky.
I agree with you, but the thing is, we've seen, like you mentioned, Alchemists kind of get out of control. You go to that Fnatic game where Big Daddy was playing the Alchemist in the mid lane, and what he transitioned to in the late game, and what a game that was indeed. So, I mean, they have the option. And Alchemist, yes, he's a couple patches away from being what he used to be, that guy with just so much HP. He didn't have the HP regen, but he was quite the carry. The Unstable Concoction also doing a ton of damage in a couple patches ago as well. So, but Loda's sticking with him, you know. I still feel like this hero has its place in the Dota scene, and Loda's making it known right now. So, Alliance, they're going to smoke up as well. Aki, maybe looking to put up a ward here. EGM as well. They've kind of not gotten an item since they've gotten, you know, the mech and the medallion, but they have a lot of gold in the bank. If they get a couple of kills, then they absolutely can. Fisher coming through. Unstable will fly onto TC. He might be able to TP right now if he just goes for it, but maybe they're thinking to fight this. They have some heroes around in the area, Bulba being one of them, Koikfa the other. Loda, with the increased move speed coming up from the Chemical Rage, decides to say, listen, I'm not going to chase this down. It's just too much work. Yeah,
Alliance, you know, they don't get a hold of anyone, but they do get the opportunity to put down a very nice ops ward here in the mid lane and get a little excess vision, and they do already have a gem, so they de-ward Liquid's ops there in the mid lane, and they're looking to just restrict all the vision. In fact, I'm trying to look around the map right now. It doesn't appear Liquid have much wards, even if any, on the map, so they are in the dark right now. So Koikfa even has to be a little bit cautious. If he can't see anyone on the map, he has to kind of second guess on where he decides to TP in.
That's the gem from EGM, and that's the one item he has picked up that does so much for them. Just gives them complete map control right now. And if they want to take this game, then making sure the jungle is warded, or at least they have wards on the opposite side of the map, is very important. Liquid have been working on this top tier 2 tower for some time. There's a glyph available, and I don't think Alliance are just going to let this go. Loda will pick up the tower in the mid lane, but TPs are already coming back. There's the glyph, and Demon has to back away. As much as he'd like to stay and take this tower, he can't. And it is going to be in deny range now as well, so a bit frustrating for Liquid, but Alliance, really smart, solid play. They take the tier 2 tower mid, they TP back, they deny their own tower, and they go from there.
Looks like the rest of Alliance going to shift over to this bottom lane. Only one more outer tower standing right now for Liquid. That's the tier 2 over there at the top lane. You do see some Alliance up there. Koikfa trying to keep the pressure away from that tower, putting down the march, quickly TPing back. As you see many a time, I just can't imagine. Tinker has just got to be a pain in the butt on the hands to play with.
I mean, yeah, I feel like carpal tunnel is probably a thing in many Tinker players' future.
It's just exhausting overall.
Oh, that too. It's just like, man, do I have to play Tinker again? Some people love it though. I mean, like, it's just the thrill of just like being able to hit all of your abilities and just get out of there and just kind of be all over the map.
It's flashy.
It absolutely is flashy, yeah. I mean, like, you talk about a good Tinker player, it's kind of difficult to get. I mean, like, just playing the hero itself and at a general level is not the hardest thing in the world, but being a master at it, like, you know, you say Quake for a TDC or even Dendi. Oh, but TP's out. Smartly done there. Almost got killed, but able to make it away. But as I was saying, I mean, it's just playing a good Tinker is difficult. Yeah, that's the long and short of it. I don't know why it takes so long for me to explain that, but there you go.
There it is. There it is. We're getting ready to reach the end of the day. Number 3 here at the International. A lot of exciting games thus far. A lot of exhausting games along. These teams blood, sweat, and tears almost going into these keyboards, trying to move forward and get closer towards that big $10 million prize pool. And Alliance, former champions, they don't want to be let out early. They don't want to let all their Alliance fans down. And for Liquid, they have something to prove. The team that had come out of the wild card, people had counted them out. No one even wanted to scrim with this team. And now look at them, taking out some of the biggest names in the International today. So fantastic stuff from both teams. A lot is on the line, and you could just tell by the way they play. We're only at about 12 kills at 32 minutes. Very safe play coming out from both.
It's maybe not the most exciting game in the world in terms of just action, but you could tell that this methodical playstyle does cater to a certain type of Dota fan. It's just nice to see these interesting little quirks here and there.
It's like a chess match.
Exactly. I mean, it's a bit slower than a Dota game, so you could call it a chess match, and it works just fine. So Aegis is going to get reclaimed, so that was, I believe, the second Roshan going the way of Alliance, and they've done a really nice job of putting pressure on. It's getting more and more difficult. S4 will pick up his Shiva's Guard, which is really, really nice to have, even just to catch out somebody like Koifa. But that's the problem. I feel like until EGM can get a Blink Dagger of his own, he has level 2 swap, that's really good, but until he gets a Blink Dagger of his own, it's going to be very difficult to catch out Koifa. And again, the wards, they need to be maybe in some awkward places, putting them on these cliffs here, and just trying to get vision of him in the trees. So this would be really where a Beastmaster would excel, because you have vision from the Hawk, but obviously maybe not the best pick.
We've seen Beastmaster a few times, and a lot of people are surprised Beastmaster wasn't picked up more often as a direct counter to that Tinker. But Tinker, speaking of which, had completed out that side the Vice.
Oh,
he might go into aggressive. Oh, careful here. Uh-oh, Demon gets swapped back and pops his own BKB. Loda happy to go toe-to-toe here, pushing him back. He goes right into the creep pit here. Will he be able to get away? He does, but unfortunately has to spend the BKB charge to do so. So good work there for Alliance to scout him out. Almost managed to take him down, but regardless, happy with the outcome.
Yeah, I mean, that's the gem coming to play, and EGM with a smart play, just throwing up the swap. But the problem with that is if he tries to TP out like he just did, you have nothing to break through that magic immunity. So swap would have been the only thing to stop that, and it wasn't available, obviously. So Demon gets out. A bit of a, I mean, like, that's just Demon. That's just how he plays. This is just classic Jimmy, I guess you could say. And people say it so often, but like being that aggressive with the Invis rune going up the high ground like that when you have no vision, kind of sketchy. So
sometimes playing like that, it pays off for you. Sometimes you have to play these risky plays to get the big ones and get the victories. But yeah, sometimes as well, you're kind of giving it away and you could be ruining it for the whole game. But man, Admiral Bulldog, who had a very struggling start, he's got a heart now. Yeah,
I mean, they've just been farming, though. That's the thing. And that's just what Alliance are going to keep doing. I mean, Koifa is going to be taking up a lot of this map for Liquid, so
and it's almost similar like a Naga. He's taking away a lot of farm from the rest of his team too, doing this, and he does need to make sure he shares it, you know, respectively with both Demon and TC, because they're two other cores that do need it.
It's not as bad because you're not using the jungle as much. You're mostly just pushing in the lanes. Like, you see where he is in the top lane for a lot of the time. But yeah, you're still taking a lot of the farm away, keeping the waves pushed out. So you're relegated to the jungle. But with the Midas, you don't really mind. If you're TC, you don't really mind because you have your core items anyways. He actually gets his BKB done as well. So we're waiting to see when the next fight is going to be. I feel like if you're Liquid, you can maybe even contest a Roshan now and be okay at it. You do have Viper Strike, Aghanim Scepter, you've got a mech, Waitsu's got his Blink Dagger, now he's got a gem of his own. Level 2 Earthshaker Ultimate would be really nice to have, but not necessarily needed. BKBs on the side of Alliance, do any of them have it? Looks like no, surprisingly enough. You're getting to a point where Koifa is going to start dealing a lot of magic damage. Obviously, Waitsu jumping in with his Echo Slam, so they have hearts though. I mean, that'll keep them alive. Loda has one of his own. So they're all getting kind of tanky here. So, Smoke of Deceit gank. Liquid wants to push the pressure of this game. They'll try to find a potential pickup. They might even find the entire Alliance team as we see them stalking on the high ground now.
Oh, they
looking to jump in. Chronosphere. There it is. Look at that Death Ward as well, just absolutely obliterating him. Now, Demon once more. EGM getting caught out. Loda will buy back, getting into the fight now. There's the Primal Split as well. The Fissure coming through. Bulldog hexed up on top of it all. Demon looking to back away. He's got his BKB pop. No one's chasing him. Viper Strike, TC getting kind of caught out here. The Viper Strike and Admiral Bulldog coming through. TC getting brought down with the unstable concoction. And, well, that's Aki getting the kill. A nice buyback to come from Loda, but at least it's forced out. Meanwhile, on the backside, Quickfoot jumps in. He's actually going to throw up more March damage here. And a 1-for-1 trade, I believe, or
Well,
1-for-2
if you count that buyback.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but they do manage to get TC down on the return, and you know, Ake did reserve the Hand of God, I guess, feeling like it wouldn't have helped out Loda regardless, but still saving it nonetheless. And now Alliance, after the end of that fight, feeling like Liquid are not going to look to engage in the relative near future, take this opportunity to jump into the Rosh Pit and battle it out with the big one.
Yeah, this is just another smart play from them. They know that there's no Chronosphere. They know that without Viper, they can easily take this. And that one should be Cheese, I believe. I'm not sure who picked it up. Let's check the item chart real quick. And in fact, it's Admiral Bulldog. So they kind of have to stop giving away these free Roshans and free Aegis, but without map control, it's difficult to do that. Speaking of map control, still, well, Chronosphere onto 3 from Demon, jumps in. Now the Death Ward EGM going to fall first, but what else can they get out of this? Now, S4, there's going to be a TP from it. Koifa as well, but 3 already dead. He doesn't even need to do anything. Demon with a fantastic Chronosphere jumping with that time walk, and they'll take a tier 2 tower as well. That was absolutely stellar.
That's the thing you gotta be careful of. Don't count out Liquid in this fantastic combo setup they have with that Chronosphere and that Death Ward. If they get a hold of you and help is not nearby and none of those heals, you're gonna be bursted down quickly before you can even get anything off. And now, taking advantage of that recent win, they're gonna move forward and they're gonna be able to clear out this tier 2 tower for themselves. So slowly but surely, Liquid working themselves back into this match and showing Alliance that they are not gonna be taken down too easily, even though Alliance appears to have a very strong set of farm.
Yeah, the problem right now is that farm is it's not really gaining them anything, and even an Aegis and a Cheese not really doing much in this scenario because both Bulldog and Loda weren't there. They can definitely fight, they can definitely take down Liquid. It just comes to realizing when Liquid's cooldowns are up and when they're not. BKB used from Demon. I'm not sure if he needed to even do that. He could have time walked away and he might have been fine, but and there was a bit of an army there from Alliance with Bulldog and EGM there as well, maybe looking for a swap on top of it, so better safe than sorry, which is something we don't often say for Demon.
So what do we do at this point? I mean, Alliance, that's like 2 fights straight that they unfortunately did not come out on top. They lose a couple of towers. They're handing over a lot of extra gold here to their Liquid side, allowing, you know, the likes of Koifa and all those other cores to really become a big problem. And, you know, you can't really just put all of your eggs in the Loda basket hoping he can take it through for him, because Loda is also very susceptible to being kited about. He has no BKB, so if Koifa gets a hold of him, he'll shut him down, just CC the heck out of him.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So what do they do?
I feel like Alliance need to get BKBs first and foremost. They need to not get caught out like this. Yes, he's got an Aegis, but this is not what you want. Hex is going to go through as well the Dagon. There's the time lock proc coming out from Demon. Chronosphere is up and ready if they want to use it, but there's a team of Alliance guys coming through. They will use the Death Ward. Loda will fall. They have absolutely no buyback on him. Now maybe time to retreat for Alliance. They will get out of there. Their main damage dealer gone. Well, maybe not. they keep going back and out of the jungle. So they're looking for somebody. Maybe just trying to find a pickoff, but
they're
Liquid are
feeling
staying
like
together.
Liquid don't have any more skills to work with here, that the Chronosphere has been spent. Bulldog leaning out the front, throwing out the snot, trying to get a hold of Bulba, jumping forward. Can they take down the precious support? The Death Ward is down, and there's the Echo. The big Echo coming in from way 2. Can they manage to burst down? They get way 2 down, but the Dagon damage coming out takes apart Ake. Primal Split trying to do work, but TC soaking up all that damage and releasing the poison damage on others. Admiral Bulldog, though, with that heavy meat, being able to soak it all up. Even has the Cheese to fall back on. TC, though, will not be able to survive. 3 for 2, still advantage for Liquid as Bulba gets caught out on the side and will be able to make his escape. S4 will not be able to take him down, and well, the Wildling will dance about it.
Way 2, nice Echo Slam coming in there, beautifully done, but 2 for, I think it was a 2 for 2 trade, besides obviously Loda going down earlier, so nice engagement coming up from Alliance. The Primal Split was difficult to wait out there for Liquid, and that was really what caused them the most havoc there. Also not having the Chronosphere for Demon. Had he had one, they were all clumped up, and that would have been a beautiful thing to jump into after the Chronosphere was done for Wave 2 and then just drop the Echo Slam there. So I'm not sure if they needed to use that second Chronosphere for Loda. Who knows? Either way, it doesn't matter. The fight goes in favor of Liquid when it's all said and done. Koifa continues to farm with the Dagon 5. Scythe has been done for a while. He's got his Yule Scepter at 2.7k gold. Does he have anything on the Courier? A Magic Wand, that's TC's. That's not what we're looking for. Sorry, please try again. Refresher Orb is now done for Demon. I don't know when he picked that up, but I didn't see that, so.
Yeah, I clicked on him recently, he got a hold of it, but, you know, we're not really surprised. This is just kind of the style of build he likes to go for, and, you know, we saw it do, you know, potentially some great work against Navi, and they really tried to hold their own base, and it did some, you know, solid work, but let's see. In this go-around, Alliance Alliance the ones that are falling a little far behind here, is they're having a hard time engaging in these team fights. It seems that Liquid have just all the answers they could ask for. They tried to start things off with this Blade Mail strat, but it's not working out for them now.
Yeah, I feel like the Blade Mail was nice, and I think that if they maybe were a bit more aggressive, they could have gotten the tier 3 tower, but at the same time, they transitioned into a Heart, and I think that maybe a BKB might have been better in this scenario, but at the same time, Heart works just as well. They just have to find a fight that really suits them. But it seems to be difficult to do because Koifa's all over the damn map. How are you supposed to stop somebody like that? They've played rather well. EGM has gotten a couple of really good pickoffs, so it comes down to essentially just Alliance getting BKBs, getting a couple more items, and then seeing what they can do with it. You think about what Alchemist has, Blink Dagger, that's exactly what I was talking about. Getting a Blink Dagger on Venge is great, but now with a Blink Dagger on Alchemist, Loda's going to be your initiator, and I think that's a big deal. He
Blink
can jump
Dagger
in.
on Admiral as well. Bristleback Blink Dagger. I mean, they don't have any sort of way, like, you don't have your formidable like Clockwork to jump in and get a hold of them, but these Blink Daggers are very nice.
Yeah, this is exactly what you want to see. If you're getting kited around, if you have a team that's just getting inherently kited, you go for something like Blink Daggers just to make sure you can jump in and gap close rather effectively. So you don't have to be clumped up and deal with a huge Echo Slam like you saw in the last fight, or a Chronosphere like you saw in the last fight. So now positioning is not an issue anymore. If they're trying to push into a tier 3 tower, they can spread out, kind of stay along, and instead of just a bunched up formation, they could be in an elongated line or something. So this is where it's going to be tricky for Liquid. Now with all these Blink Daggers up in play, it's going to be really good for Alliance. They have the Scythe up for S4, they have the Shiva's Guard, so S4 has found a lot of farm. Loda's sitting on 20k net worth right now as well. Checking out the graphs real quick, there's about a 7,500 gold lead, but hold that thought. Liquid about to jump in, maybe looking for Demon to find a Chronosphere here. They have this Observer Ward coming through. There's the Chrono, the blink away from S4. They're only going to get EGM, but he has the Refresher, mind you. He wants to keep going, though, and they should know that he has this Refresher clicked on him. BKB's going to fly as well. BKB going through. They want Aki. He doesn't want to use the Chrono just yet. They have the Blink Dagger. The Unstable Concoction's going to fly. Chrono, it does connect on Loda. He's going to stun himself. Loda in trouble. No BKB. Now the Death Ward as well. Loda getting brought low. And, well, that Blade Mill's not going to save you, my friend. That's 3 dead. Buyback status. Who has it here for the Dire team? Meanwhile, Fisher coming through. S4 still using his Promise Split. Bulldog getting hexed up. There's the Viper Strike. Now the Bruling. The Air Bruling coming through, looking for Koifa. Jumping him up in the air. Admiral Bulldog taking a lot of damage. The procs coming through from the Maelstrom from Demon. Doing work. There's the Time Lock Bashes. The based Ice Frog RNG coming through for Demon. And he gets it done again. Boom. 4 dead. Alliance. They might even lose a tier 3 off this. They have some buybacks, but a great fight for Liquid.
Man, Alliance in the past known for being just that well-oiled machine, working together as a group, and just no one having any sort of, like, there was no question that the chemistry they had together, but now the script is flipped. It's Liquid. It's Liquid being able to come together and set up the team fights they want and working together so nicely. And if you have someone brash like Demon pushing up the forefront with that Faceless Void, catching people off, they have a fantastic way of catching up and making it work. Koifa just blinking right in and quickly zapping down anyone caught out, and just Alliance have no answer. They can't help out their allies in need inside of that sphere. It's just, it's becoming very troublesome for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, right now, they're still definitely in this. They haven't lost a set of racks yet. They still have a very farmed Alchemist when you think about it. And they might not even need the BKB. I talked about it so heavily, but at the same time, if you get chronoed and if you get death warded, that's all physical damage. So maybe that's what they were thinking about when they went for these Heart of Trasks. They just want to be a bit tankier, but it seems like Liquid have found a way to just go through that. It's just pure damage coming through. Koifa obviously with the Dagon, 6.8k gold. This guy's farming like a machine. I mean, he is one, he's Tinker, so there's that. But the cheese is still up on Admiral Bulldog. He didn't get to use it in that last engagement. And Roshan is available as well. And maybe now this is the time that Liquid try to contest this. I have no idea that it's up. I mean, they have to write down the time somewhere, but
this Viper pickup as well is working very nicely.
Oh, they know actually. They have the Observer Ward, sorry.
They're going to look to shift right over. Way too getting near the pit, and, well, he's done it once before, right?
There it is, Chronosphere coming in. No, he doesn't use it yet, but now it goes. There's the split coming through. A nice swap as well on the backside. Admiral Bulldog. There's the Fisher coming in as well. They really want to contest this Echo Slam from Waitu, but the hand of God, patient play from Ake. The march going in, they will lose Waitu, but TC bringing down EGM low, doesn't kill him just yet. EGM about to fall, Pegasus runs right over him. Loda getting back, now the Death Pulse, the Death Ward coming through, and there's the other Chrono. Loda, double kill for Bulba with the Death Ward. S4 gets a double kill of his own, but there's the Dagon. S4 about to fall, they're about to team wipe them, but it's been a long fight, and Arju's won as well. Liquid barely coming out on top in this one. They're going to lock down Bulldog again with yet another Hex. Quickba going to town with the Dagon. They're trying to do everything to bring this man down. The right click from TC. This is becoming Benny Hill. Clown shoes are on, and now TC will run into the pit, and they want Roshan. Dagon coming through. Oh my
Look
goodness.
at the bacon. They're going to go ahead, try to finish off this Roshan, get a hold of Aegis, the gem on the deck as well, and, well, Alliance, they just cannot make it work, and it's very, very rough. We saw there the promise of being able to swap out from the Chrono, but that was the first one I had seen all game. They actually ditched the cheese.
Yeah, he'll come back for it. No, actually, it's the courier who's going to pick it up.
Hey,
oh
how's it
my
going
God.
there? The ugly little...
The naked Greevil, man.
This thing is
the
hideous.
most disgusting thing I've ever seen
Look
in my
at
life.
that thing, just not a pleasure on the eyes, that's
It's
for sure.
Bulba's too, and I keep telling him, Sam, please.
Maybe it's their good luck.
Maybe.
Good luck Greevil now.
Yeah, I guess so. 2 gems on it, and a cheese, a very high valuable courier.
Oh.
Value,
Ugly
rather.
though. Absolutely hideous. Anyways, working out very nicely for him. Liquid, man. Unstoppable force. Alliance, a very promising farming start for him, but what's the answer going to be at this point? I mean, what else can we offer here? I mean, even Ake on this Chen, this is at the point where you would hope that he'd have a big army to work with, try to bull rush forward, take some towers and stuff, but
No,
he's trying to sit back. He's got a blade mail, he's got the mech, but only so much he can heal before the wrath comes out from Liquid Gaming.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, if you push forward here as Alliance, you leave yourself very vulnerable to Quake for just pushing into your base and tearing you apart. So, Alliance just kind of have to play back and wait till Liquid comes to them. And that's not to say they can't win a fight. Yes, they've lost to the fights in the past couple of minutes, but they still have plenty of initiation. They have plenty of lockdown. It's just been Demon's Chronospheres have been pretty fantastic. And even when EGM got off that fantastic swap on Demon, it didn't matter. I mean, he was able to just jump in and throw up another Chronosphere. The refresher is paying for itself at this point. In fact, it already has. He'll grab a cheese as well. This time he gets Boots of Travel, so he has those available to him if he gets caught out in bad position and needs to TP away from somebody. So
Lesson learned, I guess.
yeah,
I'd say.
yeah, most definitely. So
I like that, but man, I am just flabbergasted at this net worth chart. Koikfa, nearly 32k net worth, a whole 10k above Loda on the Alchemist. Even with a Greevil's Greed, there is just no way he can catch up as far as farm. Even last hits 476 in 48 minutes.
Yeah,
And they're disgusting.
pretty gross.
Makes
It's
me
pretty gross.
sick.
You look at that and you're
Just
just
gross
like,
is that Greevil.
well, that's Tinker, man. Some people hate that hero, others love it. I don't know. I mean, when you see Koifu playing it like that, especially if you're on the side of Alliance, you're just like, man, that's gross. So, I mean, for right now, again, Loda still very farmed, level 21. Taking those is becoming an issue. I mean, if you have a 10-second BKB charge, I feel like it might be okay. But if you get chronoed up, it might not matter anyway. So maybe it feels like Alliance are damned if you do, damned if you don't. But they've got to make something happen, I think, sooner rather than later.
Yep.
So.
And just sitting around your base, you're not going to be getting a whole lot done. You're sacrificing your potential to build any sort of extra farm. I mean, S4 in top lane just spinning around. He's just waiting for these creeps to come in here and get some sort of farm for himself. Pops the shivers. He even has the Scythe of Ice himself, but trying to get a hold of someone, that's a whole nother story. You know, Ake lane, this support is getting pretty rich as well. Double Sheepstick for Alliance Gaming here, and if they get the right opportunity, they could take it right back. Bulldog with the quick blink reaction avoids, you know, the initial onslaught coming his way. Still eats the damage from the Viper Strike, but gets himself right back into the base.
Something important to note is Demon's BKB duration is now down to 4 seconds.
It's been actually down to 4 for a while, but yeah, you're right. I mean, if he does pop it too early, we've seen him, you know, kind of use it when it's not too necessary. He could eat all that Hex coming in, and he could be locked down very
He
quickly.
went Mass 2 or Helm of the Dominator. Fisher connecting, Viper Strike going as well. Now there's going to be a jump in. Demon looking for more. Nice time like that. Just look at the damage swap coming through. Bulldog needs to stay alive, but maybe won't as the Chronosphere has connected. Unstable Concoction. Ake did send him back. Demon stun. Did not use the BKB yet. Still has it ready to go. They grab one. EGM. Does he have buyback? It looks like no. The support's kind of not under farm, but they're a little bit poor. And of course, Ake did just purchase up that sacrifice as well, so that'll be the reason why. Ake with the Hand of God, he has it ready to go, but they're pushing the base right now in Alliance. They're going to try to defend.
If they have another Chrono to fall back on, if Alliance even want to consider defending this, and well, I do like that. It's appeared that Demon had used the Helm of the Dominator to be a part of a wolf pack to get that alpha wolf by the rest of his team, and just to have a little bit of extra damage to work with here. But here we go, Alliance pushing outside the front gate here, but Loda unfortunately eats another stun. Here comes Koikfa, turns him right into a little bit of pigging, and here we go. Demon jumps right in. Chronos on 2, very nice stuff. They're going to focus down Lona. Bulldog and S4 though, pushing past the lines to try to clear up some of the supports. Their eyes are set on Koikfa, but very nice Fisher to block them back. Step back, Dagon as he looks to take him down. Loda had fallen, but he did buy back to get right back into the fight. Koikfa though in a bit of trouble, and meanwhile Demon moves on and gets the triple kill. Koikfa will end up falling, and now Wave 2 under pressure from Bulldog. Eats some more quills and damage. Blade Mail popped right now, but TC with full life to work with, pushing forward, trying to slow down the Bulldog bite, and he will end up dropping. It takes a little bit of extra work, but ultimately he falls. An ultra kill for Demon.
Yeah, he's still going. They still want blood here. There is a buyback for Bulldog if he wants to. If they get close to the base, S4 is trying to run away. The blink just in time. Demon almost got there, but they lost Koikfa, but he had a Bloodstone. His respawn time, not long. 12 seconds left before he's up and ready to go. Decided not to buy back there. Had he bought back, maybe that's a bit of a precarious position he puts himself in, but they'll force the buyback out of at least another hero here on Alliance. That's going to be Admiral Bulldog. S4 still has his. No Brewmaster ultimate. Meanwhile, Demon getting jumped on. Loda trying to fight him here, but look at this damage. Look at the slow coming through. Loda getting absolutely dominated. Gets hexed up as well as digging down, but still alive. He gets sent back home by a nice send back from the Chen. Ake doing work once again, and that's really what's keeping them in the game. I feel like it's just Ake, his Hand of God, and his sendbacks. He actually hasn't even used his Hand of God. He didn't use it in that fight either, so kind of surprising.
I've been seeing him reserved for quite a while, but I mean, this is Ake we're talking about. He knows when it is going to be needed, but yeah, Alliance is one of those teams. They've gone through the longest of team battles in their history, and they're not going to hand over a GG so easy, so they're going to wait out for the right opportunity. The window may be very, very close to being shut, but if they can get it open, they'll try their best to do so. And well, Loda pushed down this mid lane, tries to find the farm. They will not be suffocated into their base, and we got a little more time before they can even consider taking advantage of another Roshan pickoff. Meanwhile, Admiral Bulldog farming on the side, taking control of those Ancients, but still scratching their heads, wondering, plotting, game planning, when can we take it back to Liquid, because they just look very solid.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult right now. Alliance are just in a really rough spot. There's no other way of putting it. I mean, you could try to sugarcoat it, but they're down in 20k gold and 20k experience, actually 25k experience.
Dire's
So
bottom tower is under attack.
you can only do so much. And Loda's been farming like a beast, but he's still getting slowed down. The Viper's done work. The Nether Toxin, the Viper Strike, everything has done just so much work against him. Koikfa's been all over the place, all over the map. 9,000 gold in the bank. They're trying to find him. Shiva's Guard will clear this creep wave now. Here we go, S4 getting caught out, maybe looking for the Chronosphere. Will they find it? Getting sent back. S4 will survive, just barely. Ake not so lucky.
What a martyr.
Oh boy, yeah,
What
the martyr.
Ake being able to save his ally's life and sacrifice himself. But, you know, obviously Ake, he does not have the buyback available. If Liquid want to push forward to go Vipers forward, but Koikfa has to be careful here. Might be caught out. Here comes the Yules. Loda jumps in with knives drawn here, but here comes Demon. Refresher and the Chronosphere to follow. Can't quite go on Loda, so he decides to go for EGM instead. He looks a little bit easier. Jumps back. That Death Ward putting in serious work. Loda goes down. He has no buyback. Here comes the rest of the Alliance squad because, well, this could be the end of the road for him if they do fall. S4 going to be caught out. Viper Strike, Laser, and Pegasus, the one to pick it up, and another double kill for himself. And well, this is looking ever so grim right now. A buyback for S4 as he approaches the top lane. Can he defend it out? Demon leads the front and begins whacking it to this tier 3 tower.
Admiral Bulldog's here as well. They don't have any Brewmaster ultimate, and Chronosphere is going to be up soon. Well, 44 seconds. I say soon, but they're just going to look for this Rax now. And one Rax is definitely not the end for Alliance, but they still have Loda down for 66 seconds. And Liquid, it looks like they might even just take this game. 55 minutes in, a long-winded one, but we're not done just yet. Now the time leap forward. Demon looking to take down this range Rax. Viscous Neithaku going for Admiral Bulldog, just trying to push this back, but there's not much they can do but look on in sheer horror. And they'll probably move bottom next just to make sure they finish off this last tier 3 instead of Rax. Here we go, jumping in Koikfa, looking for a Hex, won't find it. S4 has really great reaction time. It's able to zip away with the Blink Dagger, so they just might have breaks out here, but no, Admiral Bulldog not willing to go quietly into the night. He's going to get hexed up. Now EGM saves his life by, of course, becoming the martyr. Swapping through, but Admiral Bulldog runs right and gets sent back. The Death Ward coming through. Admiral Bulldog still alive, but just barely. They lose 2. Loda is still not respawned yet. 20 seconds. S4 looking to jump in, at least trying to do something. More Viscous Nasal Goo. The jump from S4, the Brewmaster ultimate. There's the Chronosphere. Admiral Bulldog on the outside of it, but gets time locked. Looks like he's going to fall. The perma-stun. The GG is called, and Liquid take a huge game over Alliance. My goodness. What a game to finish out between Liquid and Alliance coming through. The end, absolutely outstanding. Great play from both sides, though.
Of course, I mean, an admirable effort on the side of Alliance to try to tough it out, but it looked like they just had no answer for the Faceless Void and for Quake. Can do. You could try to beef up and lift all you want, but it's just an onslaught you cannot stop, and unfortunately a tough pill to swallow for Alliance and their fans, as it looks like it's going to be very rough for them to even try to move on into the next round. But we still have a couple of matches left and other teams to play, and for Liquid, another crazy impressive performance. It seems that Liquid just have a formula that seems to work, a draft that they feel very comfortable with. They've shifted around their players in these new roles, and it's very, very good stuff. I mean, you saw Alliance in the draft try to respectfully ban out that Skywrath and get rid of maybe the Mirana and anything they typically go for, but or if they want to get rid of the Void, they'll just bring in the Tidehunter. You know, if you want to get rid of the Skywrath, they'll pull out something like this Witch Doctor. It's very clear that Liquid have very nice lineups to work with, and if you just take out one of them, they'll just move on to the next.
Absolutely. And with that being said, guys, we will jump into a bit of a break. Our last game of the day, it's going to be Vici Gaming versus Cloud9, two teams we haven't really seen much of, at least in terms of us casting them. So it's going to be an absolute pleasure bringing you that game, and it has been a pleasure casting for you guys all this time. So thanks so much for watching. Of course, if you enjoyed the cast, my name is Mott. With me is Cattle Guy. You can leave us some feedback and follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/MottDota and twitter.com/CattleGuy. So stick around. We'll be back with our last game of the evening, not too far away. See you then.